This is Eliot Taubman. I'm an attorney and I live on Block Allen, have for 46 years, off and on, most of the time on. And I've been involved with the reading group that has read Ulysses. So this is the second time I've read the Judges. This is a very well-respected federal judge, Judge Woolsey. Had a tough job because there was outrage about Ulysses that it was obscene. So he judges it first on whether it's pornographic, and he says, Ulysses is an amazing tour de force when one considers success which has been in the main achieved with such a difficult objective as Joyce set for himself. As I have stated, Ulysses is not an easy book to read. It is brilliant and full, dull, unintelligible, and obscure by turns. In many places it seems to me to be disgusting, but although it contains, as I've mentioned above, many words usually considered dirty, I have not found anything that I consider to be dirt for dirt's sake. Each word of the book contributes a bit of mosaic to the detail of the picture which Joyce is seeking to construct for his readers. If one does not wish to associate with such folk as Joyce describes, but is one's own choice, in order to avoid indirect contact with them, one may not wish to read Ulysses. But it is quite understandable when such a great artist in words, as Joyce undoubtedly is, seeks to draw a true picture of the lower middle classes in a European city, ought it to be impossible for the American public legally to see that picture? The answer to this question is not sufficient merely to find, as I have above, that Joyce did not write Ulysses with what is commonly called pornographic intent. I must endeavor to apply a more objective standard to his book in order to determine its effect in the result, irrespective of the intent which was written. The statute under which this libel, it's not libel in our normal sense, is that only denounces, as far as we're concerned, the importation into the United States from any foreign country of any obscene book. It does not marshal against books the spectrum of condemnatory adjectives found commonly in laws dealing with matters of this kind. I am therefore only required to determine Ulysses is obscene within the legal definition of the word. The meaning of the word obscene is legally defined by the courts to be tending to stir the sex impulses or lead to sexually impure and lustful thoughts. Side comment, that's not quite what the current view is, but he was dealing with the law as it was when he wrote. Whether a particular book would tend to excite such impulses and thoughts must be tested by the court's opinion as to its effect on a person with average sex instincts, and what the French would call homme moyen sensible, who plays in this branch of legal inquiry the same role of hypothetical reagent as does the reasonable man in the law of torts, and a man learned in the art on questions of invention and patent law. I was interested to find that two literary experts that I consulted agree with my opinion that reading Ulysses in its entirety as a book must be read as such a test as this did not tend to excite sexual impulses or lustful thoughts, but its net effect on them is only a somewhat tragic and powerful commentary on the inner lives of men and women. It is only with the normal person that the law is concerned. Such a test as I have described, therefore, is the only proper test of obscenity in the case of a book like Ulysses, which is a sincere and serious attempt to devise a new literary method for observation and description of mankind. I'm quite aware that, owing to some of its scenes, Ulysses is rather strong draught to ask some sensitive or normal person to take. But my considered opinion, after long reflection, is that there are in many places the effect of Ulysses on the reader undoubtedly is somewhat emetic. Nowhere does it tend to be an aphrodisiac. Ulysses may therefore be admitted into the United States. Very interesting opinion by the judge. And you realize this was not our current state of the law, which the Supreme Court has really narrowed obscenity much more than the judge had to deal with at the time. He was dealing with court cases from the 1800s and early 1900s. So Joyce was a unique writer, sometimes hard to read, as the judge says, but worthwhile reading if you take the time.